Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's a brisk February day up here in Abington, Massachusetts, but just the right day with the right backdrop. We've got some freshly laid snow in the background. I wanted to profile for you this beautiful 1968 Oldsmobile Delta 88 Custom Holiday Coupe. Yes, that's a long name, but it needs to be said. It's a beautiful car from the year 1968 from one of our favorite General Motors divisions. That's Oldsmobile. Not too many of these were built. Only about 9,450 of them were built in 1968. I dare say how many of them survive today. I think this is probably only about the second one I've ever seen. This is a nicely equipped car sold new in West Virginia, remaining there until about 2009 or so when it was shipped to Texas. And then in 2012 came to us here in Massachusetts, where it's been owned most recently by a very avid, fastidious Oldsmobile collector who has now decided to thin out the herd. By numbers, this car was painted nocturne blue, which is a very, very deep navy blue for Oldsmobile. This is a different bit of a take on that color. This car was lightly restored or cosmetically restored around 2007 or so. And during that cosmetic restoration, the car was beautifully repainted. The paint on this car is absolutely in showroom condition. No expense was spared on the paint of this car. If it was July, I could dive into it. It's that nice. I mean, look at the reflection. It's like a mirror. So nocturne blue would have been the original color of this car, which would have been a little bit darker than what you're seeing here today. I'm a purist. I love cars the way they were built, the way they were painted when they were new. This car is the exception to the rule. I absolutely, positively love the take they took on the original blue. It's not too far off from the original, but just far enough off to really set it apart, especially with that off-white interior that we'll get to in a minute, and this beautiful factory installed, we have the original bill of sale to prove it, vinyl roof covering. Although I don't believe this is the original covering from 1968. It very obviously looks like it's been replaced with the absolute correct grain. All the trim on this car, every way you look, is in beautiful condition. Looks like it's all been hand polished. All across here, the only exception would be this corner piece right here that shows a little bit of patina. Other than that, we've got a remote control mirror that's in beautiful shape here on the passenger side. On the driver's side, excuse me. We also have a mirror on the passenger side, which was factory installed. Your emblems, those really cool Delta 88 emblems, to let everybody know what you were driving. Nice rocker trim. There's not even any stone chips under there. Absolutely impeccable. Very nice presentation. We've got those cool rocket side marker lights. Original stainless full wheel covers with correct white wall tires. The black inserts and these wheel opener moldings are perfect, presumably NOS or restored. Speaking of the restoration that took place on this car, I've got receipts that total over $42,000. $42,000 was spent to bring this car up to its current condition, and it shows. What I love about this car is it almost has a fastback look to it. In 1967, Oldsmobile restyled their whole full-size car line. Gone was the slab sides of the earlier years, and they went with this more Coke bottle sweeping design. It's beautiful. I love this humpback here, and it lends to that awesome fastback look of this full-size Delta 88. Though I dare say it almost looks like the big brother to a Cutlass S. If you put a Cutlass S from 68 next to this car, they have a very similar roof line and side profile. This would obviously be that car's big brother. Absolutely outstanding. As we go around the car, you'll see there's very little, if anything, to point out as far as flaws. Beautiful headlight bezels. We've got some T3 headlight bulbs in there, which would have been the exact bulbs that the factory would have installed in this car on the assembly line. We'll presume that those are reproductions. Nice grille, emblems, chrome, nice clear, crisp lenses. No chips on the front of that hood whatsoever. This car's current owner, most current owner, as I said, is an Oldsmobile collector. Very fastidious guy. Very fastidious. Anything this car ever needed was taken care of. Beautiful condition. Same with the passenger side here. Absolutely outstanding. There's that passenger side mirror, which was a factory installed mirror. We've got it on the original bill of sale, which I'm going to show you when we get in the car. Just like the driver's side, there's nothing to speak of over here that I need to point out to you. Being a West Virginia car almost its entire life, it was obviously a rust-free, straight, solid car to begin with before its cosmetic restoration. Beautifully done. Not too many people spend that kind of time and effort on one of these cars, and I'm glad somebody did. It's a real survivor in terms of how many of these have survived versus how many were built. We'll get on the inside here. Fix that mat. And you'll see that it's got a white interior. It's more of an off-white, almost like a parchment. Beautiful condition, presumably original door panels here. I don't think anyone's reproducing these. We've got power door locks, which do operate when the car is running, which is the way they should. We've got some roll-out vent windows. Don't you love vent windows? I wish they'd bring those back. Remote control mirror here on the driver's side. Passenger side mirror is manually controlled. And manual controlled important windows. And to be honest with you, I'm glad to see that. Power windows in cars that are 40, 50, 60 years old are troublesome. Ask me how I know. Nice interior overall. A couple flaws that I will point out to you. But before we do, I'll show you that beautiful rear shelf that was replaced. We got a rear defogger option in this car also, as you can see. And it looks to me like the headliner has probably been replaced. It's almost too nice to be original. I didn't look through every receipt we have because we have a lot. But I'm willing to bet there's a receipt in there for that headliner. It's just too nice to be original. And we do have a receipt for a replacement carpet. This is the correct reproduction carpet. This would have been the same loop that Oldsmobile would have installed in 1968. Beautiful reproduction sill guards. I mean, a lot of attention was a lot of detail, attention to detail in this car, just to make it right. Now, the back seat I want to show you here. These really cool embossments in the back, all original. Lots of seat belts for 1968 per government regulations. We've got a slice here in the seat, right on the seat, right where the stitching is. I don't know if that could be repaired, restitched. I suspect it probably could be. It's original. The owners didn't want to touch it. There's also one of those on the front seat here on the back, as you can see, right down the seam where the stitching would be. That, I suspect, could probably be repaired without major replacement. Everything in here, with the exception of the headliner, the carpet, and that rear shelf, appears to be factory original. Really nicely laid out dashboard with that beautiful wood applique, which I believe probably came standard on the custom model only. Nice dash pad, no cracks whatsoever. Yes, we've got Comfortron climate control, very similar to the setup you would have found in a Cadillac. Where you sort of set your temperature here on the dial, and the controller keeps that temperature on the inside cabin. It does do its job, and when I start the car, you'll hear the fan running, and the fan kicks on and off as it should to regulate the temperature in the car. So it appears the Comfortron system is operating. However, I will tell you that the air conditioning portion of it does not operate. The compressor does not kick on. We're assuming there's no refrigerant in the system. And that has not been attended to, so I will, full disclosure there, the air conditioning portion of the Comfortron is not operating. However, the Comfortron setup seems to be doing its job, as I can tell from the on-again, off-again function of the fan. We do have a working factory 8-track tape player. That does work, accompanied by an AM radio, which is intermittently working. But the 8-track does work. We've got just over 80,000 miles, 80,059 to be exact. No tilt steering and no cruise control in this one. And we've got an electric clock, which doesn't operate, which is not uncommon. I'll put my glasses on here. We're going to look at the original bill of sale. As I said, this car was sold new in West Virginia to Thomas Ray Vaness, on March 16th, 1968, from the Minton Chevrolet Oldsmobile Company. in Logan, West Virginia. And there's all the options it has. I didn't get to it yet. I should have, but I'm going to tell you now. This has the optional 455 cubic inch V8, the big block with a 4-barrel carburetor. Standard on this car would have been the 350 cubic inch engine. This has the optional big block 455, so that's a really nice feature. That engine puts out about 380 horsepower, according to the research I did online. Of course, we've got the turbo hydromatic automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes, white wall tires, all kinds of vanity mirrors, glove box lamps, underhood lamps, soft ray tinted glass, Comfortron air conditioner, auxiliary front and rear floor mats, which are still present, power door locks, vinyl roof covering. There you go, factory installed. Cornering lamps, that's a nice feature you don't see too often. Anti-spin rear axle, rear window defogger, deluxe trunk equipment, remote control, outside mirror on the driver's side. So a nicely equipped car. This car was just over $5,000 when it was new, $5,093. That's not chump change for 1968. And it looks like Mr. Vaness turned in a 1967 four-door hardtop, and they gave him $3,100 for it. Not a bad deal. So I've got that to go with the car, along with all these receipts that total over $42,000 and date back to the early to mid 2000s. You'll get that with the car, along with an indoor car cover. I believe we have a service manual for the car. We'll start it up for you now. One quick note, just kind of a fun fact. 1968 was the last year GM had the dash-mounted ignition switch. 1969 would have brought the switch into the steering column, with the exception of the Corvair, because the Corvair was on its last legs, and they didn't bother moving it to the column in the Corvair, but everything else went into the steering column for 69. Nice 455 V8 sounds good. You can hear that fan kick on. A little bit louder than it should. Open the hood for you. And then we'll go around back and hear that dual exhaust. And there you have it. Very nice, well-sorted, clean engine bay. That Rocket 455 air cleaner. Nothing to sneeze at under here. Original style Frigidaire AC compressor, which is hooked up, but like I said, appears to be empty on Freon or refrigerant. Here's the dual exhaust. Nice sounding dual exhaust back here. A full-size muscle car. Again, it's cold out today, so what you're seeing there is condensation. Beautiful presentation of a rarely seen Oldsmobile. If you're a collector, or an Oldsmobile collector in particular, this is definitely a car you'd probably be proud to own, having your collection. Very turnkey, very drivable. Lots of recent maintenance done, including a 4-wheel brake job. This car has 4-wheel drum brakes that are power assisted, and they've all recently been redone. All 4 wheels, just this past summer. So there you have it, this 1968 Oldsmobile Delta 88 Holiday Coupe, Custom Edition. Orphan Car Garage pricing on this beauty, $17,900. $17,900. Again, I'll say it, you go to a car show or a cruise night with this car, you're going to be the only one there with one like it. No Mustangs, no Camaros, no Corvettes. This is a rare bird. Just 9,400 of these were built in 1968. I dare ask how many are still around today. Give me a call, 508-954-8090. Check this car out on my website, orphancargarage.com. We got a full gallery of photos there for you to view. If you have any other questions, give me a call or shoot me a message. If you need transport, I can handle that too. This time of year, I would like it to be enclosed transport. I can get a really good deal on that. I think a car like this deserves it. Until the next one, I appreciate your support, and we'll see you down the road.